Hello, Tripliers. BebotsOnly. It's Tuesday or Wednesday morning here in the Philippines, and I apologize for not giving more frequent updates, but uh, sometimes I get stuck, not like writer's block, but this is one of those videos where the files were incomplete, and usually when something's incomplete, I'm not like motivated to like I said, the files were corrupt because it was the SD became corrupt, and I had a bunch of missing files, and I had all these car reviews also that I was disappointed, or and so I became unmotivated to complete it. But here it is. It was during that day. Most of the stuff is gone, so I'm just gonna upload it. But be mindful that a lot of files are missing, so I don't even really know. I'm just gonna throw it out there just to get it out of the way, so I can move on with the rest of the vlog, so I can keep updating to kind of let everybody know what I've been up to. I am going to the. It's still vacation time, so spending a lot of time with the kids and the family. So once they go back to school, but even that's kind of a challenge also because there's not really school, it's online classes, which I end up getting pulled into. I where I end up let's use the word assisting loosely a lot of the work. But anyway, so I'm assisting a lot of the work. So it's not like when it's actual classes. Oh, here we go. The videos are up. Anyway, but that's the update. So I'm gonna edit these videos and see which files are not corrupt and upload it and just get it out of the way so I can move on. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is BebotsOnly. Okay, remember we got the Asahi stovetop. So now we remember we got the regulator and we got the hose and we got an LPG over here. So that completes the setup for the dirty kitchen. We have Mick over here who's going to be installing it. He's the driver. He's our driver. So I already know we got a driver now. So I'm trying to keep it a secret. So here's Mick, and he's gonna be he's all around.
Nagba-vlogger ka pala, sir, no?
Hindi, remembrance lang. Yun, kasi hindi ako mahilig mag-selfie.
Okay.
So ikaw na lang.
Ang ganda niyang
So, para marami mainggit sa'yo. Painggit lang ito eh. Nag-install tayo ng LPG sa dirty kitchen.
Yun, no?
So you just hook up the regulator like that to one hose, to one side of the hose, and then tighten it with the screwdriver. So we got this Asahi at Anson's for 1.5. So if you don't want to get your formal kitchen dirty, then you get one of these for the dirty kitchen. Then you get Mick the driver to install it. I mean, it's pretty easy. As you can see, just tighten the hose around the regulator with the clamp with the screw. And then what's nice about this regulator, it has a gauge, so you can tell if the LPG is getting, and I think, let's see how much it is. Can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's like 800 something pesos for the regulator.
That is 2,000.
Bigat ng regulator mo, may gauge.
2,600.
Oo.
The tank is 2,600, but to replace the tank is only.
650.
Okay, it's relatively cheap. I think the highest was 1,000 pesos per refill. Over here.
Yep.
Then just tighten it around there so it doesn't leak. tingnan natin saan
sige pa.
Tanggalin mo na.
Okay.
Tanggalin mo na.
Yeah.
So that's where the hose goes right there. Going to see what it looks like underneath. So it's pretty basic. Okay. Kasi maraming chismosa. Kasi na ano yung ginagawa natin. Oh, eto na.
Ito na.
Bakit daming chismosa? There's always a lot of gossiping people over here. I like to let them know what we're up to on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis. And here we are right now, tightening.
Okay.
Let's make our driver. So everything is pretty basic. This one, first attach it to here. This thing's called the regulator. What it does, it regulates. So it's got this nice rubber seal around here.
Okay.
Now it's time to hook it up.
Apo. Palaan ko lang sa ilalim. Ay, okay na dito, no? Sa side ka, no? Yun.
Pwede ba dito sa ilalim? Kasya ba?
Kasya naman, no?
Yeah, lagyan na lang para hindi...
Dito?
Yeah.
Okay ba siya dyan, Nick? Safe ba dyan?
Baka mahulog, wag na nga.
Hindi, lagyan mo para hindi siya nasa sahig. O hindi siya kasya. Hindi kasya. Okay. Huwag pilitin.
Susuko.
Huwag pilitin.
Mahirap na, no?
So we go through about one gas tank every 2 months. 2.5 months. We only cook once a day and then we just kind of heat it up as a leftover. Then we use either microwave or toaster oven to heat it up. So that's pretty basic. Crank it up there, then you loosen it up there, and it's ready to go.
You make sure, alam mo yan, mamit yung bubbles. Ito,
Okay.
make sure walang butas.
Okay ba? Bubuksan mo muna.
So he's gonna crank it up
Okay,
for the first
okay.
time. He's gonna check the seal. See if there's any bubbles that are in here that's coming out. No leaks.
Okay.
So what we do is we kind of get a nice lather of soap around it.
No leak.
Then what we do also, so that's kind of a
Okay. Here na lang, sir.
check for leaks.
No more? No more?
Okay, time to fire it up for the first time. I mean, this is just for the dirty kitchen, but if you have like just a regular kitchen, it's just fine also. I don't think there's any problem with it. Well, let's check out the...
Ito yung lock niya. Naka-on na, sir. Tapos i-off mo siya.
Paano yung off? Oh.
Test. Okay.
Paano mo alam pag lock?
Pag i-off mo tato, i-off natin, sir, ha? Saan ba yung off dito?
So this has a lock
Ano?
also.
Ito yung off. Ito yung off. Paano
So
ba?
right now, lock mo muna.
Yun.
Ay, hindi ko napapansin paano mo alam pag lock o hindi.
Wait lang. Nag-open na kanina, eh. Wait lang.
Ito title yun.
Open. Okay, open. Then i-off natin. Kasi may lamang pa siya, eh. Yan, naka-off na siya.
Huwag masyadong,
Ba't tayo mag-start?
There.
Ayun. That's good.
There you go.
Okay na.
Bakit half a tank na yan?
Okay.
Nagkakalahati. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I see. So it says full right now, but when it's on, it says half a tank. I see. So the gauge. So it works. So that's pretty much completes it. All right. Thank you, Mick Mick,
Yeah,
for
welcome,
installing
sir.
it. So, tell everyone goodbye, Mick Mick. Say goodbye, Mick Mick.
Bye-bye ka daw.
Say bye bye. Say
Bye
please
bye,
subscribe.
guys.
Say please subscribe.
Please subscribe and thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Mick Mick. You're welcome. Okay, me and Mick Mick, our driver over here, we're going on an adventure. The fog lights on the Fortuner went out last night, so I suspect it's a fuse. So we're gonna go get the fuse checked out, fuse replaced, and look at other things while we're out there here in the Philippines. So probably most of you are wondering, why do I have a driver? Well, for safety reasons. That's one of the things that safety comes first, right? Especially right now. So that way I don't. We're using the buddy system. Always use the buddy system now. Before I could get away with just me, but now it's not safe to be doing that this time, and I could get into a lot of reasons why. But anyway, let's go back to the adventure today, which is looking for a fuse to fix the Fortuner. The Fortuner is like 13 years old now and needs some TLC, so it's gonna have its usual wear and tear. But that's all we're doing today.
Oh, yan, no? Sunog eh. Wiring. Grounded. Grounded.
Baka nakalagay.
Walang nakalagay.
Hindi, baka ang nalagay dyan.
Iba, hindi ano. Hindi
Maliit.
maliit, hindi pa napapalitan yan. 13 years na yan.
Boy, kumakabay ng flash. Bukutin ko lang. Sunog.
Bakit nasunog?
Hindi, may isa po kasi sa amperes kasi nang nilalagay. Baka may hindi kaya ng ilaw.
Hindi pa naman napalitan yan, di ba sir? Oh, 13 years na. 13 years na yan pare. Baka sa tagal na.
May titingnan natin kung mabubunot yan.
Sige.
Sunog eh. Kaya nagtataka kayo, parehas wala eh.
Atin ang fuse. Ano pa no?
So I don't know what happened, why this one is decided to have a complete meltdown. So they're gonna see if they can take that out. But as you can see, it pretty much melted inside. And I'm not sure why, because these are just your I never did anything to the fog lights. It's just wala kaming ginawa sa fog lights. That's just the original fog lights.
Tagal.
Maybe it has just reached that point.
Nako,
Naluto na yun eh.
naluto. Napuputo lang to. Nako. Dito ko makawa sa flat scroll lang yan. Bubunutin ko lang sa ilalim.
Oo.
Sige na to, sa flat scroll na mali. Dito na, bumunot yan na lang yan. Hugutin mo lang, hugutin mo.
Daming reserve no, pwede mo palang
Ha?
daming reserve, pwede pagawa pa ng mga accessories, marami pala to.
Sunog eh oh.
Para na ang ko.
Tigas. Dito ako mga expert sa mga ganitong mga wiring.
Yan magang
Oo, yan ang specialist ko eh, mga ganito. Sus!
kaya ako sa iyo eh. Sabi ko, nako, tatalin ko yung balls ko rito to.
Ako eh, silyado.
Yun no. Hindi kaya nabasa ano?
Sunog eh.
Good, tama yung wire bro.
Hindi na tatanggal yung takip. Mayayari ito, parang papayipasin lang natin.
Ayan, nabubulo.
Ito Tanong ko, ano yung dahilan bakit nasunog na ganyan?
Baka sa tagal na sir. Kaya nag-grounded, hindi naman ano. Kasi kung grounded, lahat ng fuse niya may tama, no?
Pwede ba kailangan palitan lahat ng screw para yung fuse para hindi mangyari yan? Or
Pwede, mas maganda.
kasi pag na...
Original na fuse. Ang tagal ito pa rin.
Ito, kumakabay ng ano, yung parang blade lang boy, cutter, manipis to eh. Ipasag siya. Bakal to eh.
Para makuha ano.
Send ano?
Nakasild eh. Ngayon pala ito mabubuksan.
Oo, 13 years na pare.
Ito kasi nasunog oh.
Nakasil ka,
Uy, ulo eh.
bukas yan.
Wala, may kung sunog yan. Kung siya magagawa niyo, papapalit ng muna.
Ang maganda niyan, bibili ka na lang nito.
Oo.
Meron ba kayo dito na ganyan?
Wala ako siya.
Siyempre na.
Buo na siyang ganito. Gusto mo, idaan mo rito sa Toyota bago magtulay. Bago magtulay na Santa Rosa. Yung bagong bukas yan, tapat ng Coke. Sino, bibili ka lang nito, picturean nyo muna bago kayo balik. Ibilang kamo kayo nito, kasi kamo nasunog. May malaki damage yan, hanggang dito po, hindi lang sa fuse eh.
Matagal pa mag-order sila.
Hindi, meron ng ano sila eh, meron na silang pagka may available yung pyesa, diretso pili ka.
Pag wala,
Pag wala, eh
Order.
order talaga. No choice ka rito.
so alam mo na saan tayo pupunta. So wala na kayong magawa dyan.
Ayun.
Sunog kasi ito eh.
Wala, buo na kasi nasunog.
Ayun natin mo, lusaw oh.
Nasa una eh.
Nalusaw eh.
Sana ko yung sa fuse lang yung nasunog
Oo.
eh.
So the whole thing needs to be
Hanggang sa loob
replaced.
na.
He said.
Ayun oh. Hanggang loob.
Ganda. Kahit electrical, yan din ang
Oh.
sasabihin.
So anong tingin mo bakit nasunog na ganyan?
Pwede kasi sa amperes niya. Kung halimbawa, kailan ba kinabit yung paglight? Original ba yan?
Oh,
Sa
original.
urig pa, iba ka ano yan, pwedeng may nabasa, nag-short. Init eh.
Pwedeng nabasa, pwede. Kasi mag-short talaga ako.
Eh, nasa loob siya eh. Paano
Hindi,
siya
yung
nabasa?
halimbawa, yung headlight nabasa. Nag-short circuit siya, dito balik noon sa fuse.
Fuse.
Yan ang pang-
Pero bakit siya nabasa? Eh, yung housing niya.
Okay.
Yung mga
Okay.
wire, gano'n.
Wire.
Marami
He
siya
says,
gamit dyan.
he says there's many reasons why I could have shorted.
So, hindi namin Sige,
Paglight lang naman ang wala.
Ano yung iba dito?
headlight.
Iba niyan, headlight, tsaka
Blinker.
ang 40 ay, ano ba yan? 20.
So hindi natin kailangan palitan ito ng bago
Hindi,
yung iba.
15. Ano na to? Busina lang. Tsaka... Oh, busina.
Horn, tsaka
Yung EFI.
ano yung EFI? Electronic Fuel
Oh,
Injection.
yes.
Oh, wala tayong fuel.
Oh.
Walang fuel pag wala
Hindi,
yan.
kakabit ko nga po. Kaya pagbalik ko. Sila lang.
So the electronic fuel injection and the horn is attached to that. Busina tsaka yung...
So, kay Toyota, bigyan mo yung number ni sir para pag minsan
But he
ma-tow.
said the good news is the engine looks great, he says.
In case na masiraan ba, parang
In
tatawagan.
case pag nasira yung fuse ng EFI,
Oo. May
meron akong tatawag.
Yeah.
Okay, bad news is the whole housing for the fuse needs to be replaced. It can't be pulled.
Para kami balik ko dito sa'yo ah. Pag sa kasa, ang daming chichiburichi na yan. Baka iakyat pa tong isang pa tong makina yung sasakyan. Hindi ko alam mo na mga pag-service.
Nasaan ba lugar?
So we're here at a roadside electrical shop here.
Lugar ba yan?
It's nice to have somebody with you that knows the local culture or customs. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to fix that here, jerry rig it, put a few and sama pinag-fuse.
Tapos lang. Saan yung nasulat na yun? Paglam.
Tumigas na eh, no?
Ha? Tunog eh. Oo, nakadikit na rin siya.
Yung mga kasamang fuse gaya niya pa rin, hindi na natin pwede pagpanta ng bago para maganda na lahat.
Yung original naman.
Ah, original ba?
Kung mabibili mo na lang na piece ito, puro replacement.
Oo nga, no? Mas maganda pa rin yung original.
He says it's better. I asked if any of the other fuses need to be replaced. He says no, it's better to stick with the original because the replacements are going to be third party. We're checking if there's. So far, nothing's dead. There's no current going through it. Current is interrupted somewhere.
Oh! Meron pa.
Meron pa. Hindi din pala pwedeng i-bypass to. Hindi din pwedeng i-bypass. Paano may electronics sa loob to?
Lahat gawa ng paraan, hindi natin maano. Sabi nga, gawa natin ng...
Check natin.
Gawa ng paraan lang.
So we might not be able to bypass it because there's some electronics inside.
Hindi pala gumagana test.
Can't bypass it through that mechanism, so we're going to try to bypass it here where it connects to it.
Kapaglam yan. Ha? Kapaglam. Oo. Off mo nga pre. Pati park light.
Ano, baka pwede rito pa.
Okay na.
Makante.
Ano?
Isa.
Makakasi ba ito isa? Dito mo nga yung ano. Kasi may isang diode yun eh.
Sakit lang.
Ha?
Sakit lang.
Takot lang. Hindi pa takot yun.
Oo.
Well, there's an available opening.
Ito kasi dito yan. Paano natin nililipat? Dito yan.
All right, so the adventure continues. Hi, puppy. Okay, so here's what happened. Or here's how the electrician described it to me. Before, I had HIDs installed in the fog lights. While I was gone, the fog lights went out, blew up. So what the boss did was she went to go get it fixed. So they completely bypassed the HID system and they put in just the regular bulb system. The problem is the bulb was too high for the fuse to handle that they put in there. They should have put in a lower amp bulb, is what he was explaining to me. So these are the things that I have to take care of. I would have taken care of it the first time by sticking with the HID, but it didn't work out because I couldn't do anything. So now I have to fix everything that was done while I was gone. I repeat, everything is my fault and I am the one who has to fix it no matter what. So here we are getting the electrician to fix it, and that's how he told me what happened. Now he's looking into the fog lights, the wiring system, to make sure there's nothing else wrong with it. That's the update. So that's the old HID, they just left it in there in the ballast. Sira na yan.
Hindi na po gumagana yun.
Okay, pwede pa kitanggal. Okay, this is the old ballast of the HID, and it's only 50 watts, so it had no problem. You can see the 50 watts there. 50 watt bulbs. If this was the same system used again, it would have been no problem. But as you can see, this thing only lasts like 3 to 5 years at the most. And while I was gone, it blew up. So it should have been replaced with the same thing, but something with a lower wattage. But it wasn't. So here I am fixing it. Checking the HID light if it still works.
Wala na.
Wala na.
Patay na, sira na. Okay, yep. Ganyan lang. Bakit nasusunog?
Kaya po nasunog. Baka po may problema dun sa mga valve. Double check po natin. Double check. Nag-iinit.
He says it's getting hot, so there's something wrong inside. It's not the bulb because it's also 50 watts. So hindi natin alam bakit umiinit.
Bakit nasunog? Yung fuse box.
So we still don't know why it's getting hot. It has nothing to do with the bulb because the bulb is a low wattage bulb. Something is causing the watts to spike. Okay, the investigation continues. So there's something wrong with the wiring and the electrician is looking for the reason why it's getting hot. Why is the wiring getting hot? Okay, it was just discovered that the right light, fog light, was fine. It's the left fog light, I mean the right fog light, not the left side. The right fog light has the problem. The line, there's something in the electrical line that's causing it to short. Okay, yay, it's finally working again. The right light and the... So anong ginawa mo? Anong problema sa...
Tinatry ko sir,
Bakit
i-trace
umiinit?
kung saan po siya nag-iinit. Ay nakita ko po doon, loose connection yung socket doon.
So merong differential yung socket?
Hindi, okay na po. Okay na po. Trace na kung bakit nag-iinit.
So here's the update. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna bypass the switch, and it's just gonna be a direct relay. Whenever time you turn on the engine, the light is always on for a fog light, which is fine by me. It's like almost like a daytime running lamp. The only problem with that is we still don't know why it caused it to blow up in the first place. We can bypass it, because there was an available bay, but we still don't know what caused it, because after we bypass it, there's still a good possibility that it's gonna blow up again, which is not what we want to do. We don't want to do all that work just to have it blow. The cause of it blowing up is gonna blow up the solution again. The problem still exists because we haven't addressed it.
Ito na lang sir. Magkano po tayo? Maglalagay tayo ng relay.
Okay.
Opo, para po dun sa fog lamp. Para po hindi persado yung switch, hindi persado doong ikakapit natin fuse. Maglalagay lang po tayo.
Separate tayo ng relay.
Magsiseparate lang tayo ng relay.
Oh.
Pero
Okay.
dito pa rin tayo gagamit sa fuse box. Hindi tayo maglalabas.
Okay, wala akong problema dyan. Yung problema lang, sasabog ulit.
Hindi na po sa
Hindi na i-unit ulit.
Pag may
Bakit uminit?
gawa po dito. Hindi kinaya nung bulb na kinabit. Hindi kinaya ng fuse yung bulb na kinabit gawa ng
Pero 50 watts lang yan.
dalawang 50 watts sir.
So dapat 25 watts lang.
Dapat mga 25-35 watts lang po.
Oh, so the wattage was too high on the bulbs.
May nakalagay naman po sa may nakalagay naman po sa pinaka-lens niya.
Okay, so the bulb was too high. So it blew it up. Alright, so
So,
that's the cause. So pag bumili tayo ng bulb ulit, kailangan 25 lang.
Or yung stock.
Yung LED.
Yung stock or kaya LED na lang sir.
Okay.
ang LED ba? Anong wattage ng 25 lang
So
ba yun?
250 watts. The 250 watt bulbs blew it up.
Ah,
Alright, let's try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Pabili na lang ako sir na
Na?
relay. Ganito.
Saan tayo nyo makakuha?
Yan sa Kalaman.
Dito, ano siya?
Okay, we'll come back.
Tapos-
So, let me see. This is what ito lang kailangan namin.
Opo sir.
Separate relay.
Walang fuse. Fuse nandito na.
Opo fuse.
Meron kayong fuse, yung
May fuse
matibay. Yung mataas tsaka matibay.
Meron ka? Kung meron ka, hindi na bibili doon.
So we're gonna buy this, whatever this is
Ay,
called.
relay ang bibili ko. May fuse, meron ka.
So this is the relay. Relay Denso, made in Thailand. Tingnan nga natin ang bibili natin. Relay.
Relay yan sir.
Oo, yan natin.
Wala akong fuse holder.
Ha?
Wala akong fuse holder. Fuse na.
Card isa.
No fuse.
Relay.
Ayan, wala ako. May fuse ka ganito.
Okay.
Nag-vlog ba kayo sir?
Yeah, remember it's now. Pinapost ko lang sa F.
Yung sir ko. Electrical siya ng electrical. eh.
So yan ang spare.
Spare po ito eh.
We got spare fuses in case we need them.
Battery.
Cutter ka na dyan, par.
Ha?
Cutter.
Okay, po.
Here's our total. They bought fuses for 60 pesos, relay for 110 pesos, and socket for 50 pesos. Grand total of 220 pesos. About $5 worth of electrical parts. These are just the parts. I haven't factored in the labor yet. Okay, just took off the battery, make room to work here. Okay, finally got it open. Here's the relay.
Nakakita yun yung
Relay.
diba binigyan mo sa Teo? Nakakita yun mo ito.
Look at the condition this thing is in.
Kung dalawa na bigay sa Teo.
Still pretty good after 13 years. I'd get another Toyota again. Okay, true believers, this is hero training. And after 10 months of no practice, no games, here he is. And as you can see, he's got a lot of cobwebs to work out, but it's his first, like I said, it's his first day back, so we're just taking it easy, trying to get our technique down, but I'm not going to ride him too hard on his dribbling or his shooting for now. I just want him to exercise, work off the cheeseburgers and fried chicken and the unhealthy eating. I mean, it's okay to eat whatever you want, just as long as you work it off. Just doesn't matter what you eat. If you eat 5,000 calories worth of chocolate, that's fine, as long as you do 5,000 calories worth of exercise. So that's what we're doing right now, is all that eating. I mean, he's a growing boy, as you can see. Have to work off all that food. Okay, time to ball return, like the ball boy. Ball boy, go get the ball. Hello, true believers. This is BebotsOnly. It's another day in the life, and it's been almost 3 years since I've given some attention to our Fortuner over here. It's a 2008. It's been in our service ever since we bought it brand new, and it has been reliable and has been so dependable, and we've enjoyed it very much, and right now it's still running like a top. So it's been a while since I gave it some love and some TLC. So today, finally, after I bought some detailing products, I think about a week or two ago, I'm finally carving out a day to get some of that out of my list done. It's difficult because at a point we only had one car, and we had to use this every day. And when it comes to detailing, you need a day or two for the car to just work on it. So I'm going to be doing a lot of elbow grease today. My problem is my back, especially my lower back, is stiff because I haven't used it in the last 3 years, and then all of a sudden I'm using it a lot now. And just for daily, just doing house chores is the difficult part. So it's very hard for me to bend, so I have to keep it straight a lot. And when I'm sitting down for a long time, it's very hard for me to straighten up and get back up again. So, but back to the detailing over here. So I bought a bunch of products and I did a video on a shopping haul. If you want to look through my videos, if you want to check it out. So there's some things that we have to do first. First, I gotta get there's some chips on the paint, mainly in the bumper area, and some scratches. So for example, right here, there's a scratch, and then there's some chips, like right there, where the body kit. And I've done some minor modifications on this car. So after I'm done detailing it, I'll probably go through and let you know. I did a video on it before, but I can do one again just to kind of refresh. I know there's a lot of people that are new to the channel, so I want to try to accommodate them. So for those of you who have seen the Fortuner modification videos, I'm going to be doing a lot. So the first thing I'm going to be to update the Fortuner. Like I said, it's 2008, so it's been 13 years and it's been dependable. So the first thing we gotta do is the chips, and I'm gonna be using. Hold on a second. There's some products I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using. Hold on. I know I bought black spray paint for those chips, but I decided against it, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this right here. Yeah, a good old nail polish to do touch-up paint. Got it from Walter Mart for 38 pesos, so less than $1. And that will, I mean, the spray paint, I've had experience with, especially airbrushing, and you have to do a lot of masking, and it kind of gets all over the place. So I decided against it and just go ahead and just use nail polish. I know it looks ghetto, but it's better than nothing. I just wanna take the edge off so it's not so obvious. So, for example, just kind of touch that up right there. You know, if there's any other more, like that, where the green's showing. Just touch that up. It's kind of minor, and I think for the bigger scratches, I'm gonna try to use. There's like a big scratch over here, like these scratches right here. I don't know if you could appreciate there. Gonna try to use. And there's these other scratches over here. This one was from somebody on a bike, like one of those that hauls junk. Kind of ran into me in the back. So I mean, I could spend tons of money, but on getting it professionally done. But I just want to wait. I'm gonna try to get some of it done myself. So there's a first step over here is touching up the chips with this. Then next is the washing. I'm gonna wash the car. Use the Turtle Wax Ice Car Wash. So I still got some of that left, and I'm gonna use I don't know what everybody keeps saying, the 2-bucket system. So I got 2 buckets. It's just you just once you wash it, you rinse it, and then you go back to. So I got 2 buckets. So that's the first. So that's the first step is paint. Second step is wash it. Third step is I'm gonna be using this to get rid of the big scratches. I have no experience with this whatsoever yet, but it's Meguiar's Scratch 2.0. Then after that, I'm gonna be using Mother's rubbing compound. I would like to have gotten Meguiar's, but they didn't have any, so I had to mix and match and use Mother's rubbing compound. Removes water spots. Oh, good. Quickly removes heavy oxidation. What's that? Sanding, scratches, and defects. So going to be using that. Yeah, down my back's killing me. So that's step number 3. Using that. And these are very expensive over here. I know they're very cheap, but a true value. Look at this, $20. for this thing. And look at this one. No, $700 for this thing, so it's not that bad. Should have gotten another one, like 14 bucks. Should have got another rubbing compound. And then I got this car polisher, so I'm not gonna be. The only problem is I only got one polisher fill. So and that one was for 4,500, so it was like $110. Then I got some sponge applicators, and then forgot. Before I do that, actually, this is step number 3 is the clay kit. So another mother's gold, and this thing was expensive also. This clay kit. So cleans and smooths, restores, makes waxing easier for long-lasting shine. So I needed a clay kit. I got this. I was reading the reviews and detailing, and they were saying, "Oh, you got a clay bar, the car," and I said, "Okay, well, if that's what the experts are saying we got to do, then we got to do it." So it's pretty expensive. Look at that, like $30 something from the blade store. So it's pretty complete. So what I'm gonna plan on doing is I'm gonna wash the car while the car is wet. Then I'm gonna use this clay bar, and I think it says here, spray with a cool, clean surface, unwrap and flatten clay and palm the hand thoroughly. Spray smooth section, insert to lubricate finish. Instant detail. So you got to use this instant detailer, so which it comes with, so that's why it's so expensive. But you could pick up these clay bars, like the cheap no-name brands from China, for like $2, $3. And over here I'm spending almost $40 on it. So here's the instant detailer. So you get like a 3-for-1. So I'm opening it for the first time, and you get this microfiber cloth. So it's complete. So you're getting some value for your money. And this is what I was really after. I really just wanted to get a clay bar. I didn't want to get all this detailer nonsense, but what are you gonna do? They didn't have anything else in stock. So these are the two things that I was after. So we gotta clay bar it first, and then we're gonna use this for the big scratches, then clay bar it. Then after clay barring it, we're going to use rubbing compound. Then after that, next step is polish. After you put rubbing compound on it, this thing's pretty expensive also, from True Value, at 1,255 pesos, so that's like 25 bucks. Ultimate polish. And then after that, we're gonna add another layer of Carnauba car wax, premium paste wax. So this thing's pretty expensive also. I don't have the box anymore. I threw it away because I used it already once, and I'm pretty happy with it. Then after that, we're gonna seal it with CMX ceramic spray coating. I already used this on our other car, and I'm very happy with the results. So it's rained for almost a week, and the car still looks good, and the water droplets or the dirt and the dust doesn't stick onto it as well. It's still very shiny. So that's the last touch. I don't think I'll finish it today, and then some tire shine to kind of add some shine to the tires. So we got these big Yokohama tires. These are the factory wheels here, and you're probably saying, "Hey babe, how come you haven't replaced the factory wheels? They look kind of tiny. They look like they're only 15 inches." And I would like to, but number one, I'm too cheap to do it, and number two, it would ruin the ride quality of the car. I mean, these are what the factory designed it for, these size wheels. And when you have big fat tires like this, then it absorbs a lot more of the road obstacles, or what word I'm looking for. Anyway, the potholes. I don't know what's wrong with me today. So it's pretty complete, and I spent like $200 or $300 on this stuff already. I mean, that's 100, almost $90, almost $100 over there, and then another $100 or $200, like $250 on these products. So you're talking about almost $300, and to get it professionally detailed, it would cost that much. So I said, you know what, let me do. I'd rather do it myself. At least I know what products I use and how it's done right over here in the Philippines. You don't know what they're using. So I always said, if you want something done right, if you want something done and cheap and fast, then get a Filipino to do it. But if you want something done right, it's not cheap, it's not quick, it's not easy, and you need to do it yourself. So if I could do it myself, I would. But if I can't, then I'll get somebody else to do it. But it costs a lot of money if you have a professional to do it. And then also there's a matter of trust. And over here in the Philippines, trust is just a commodity that's very rare. So the first thing I do is touch up the paint. Then I'll wash the car, and we'll do some work in progress while we're at it. So that's what I'm going to be doing all day. I think it's like 8 o'clock in the morning right now. So I'll let you know what how my progress is. Enjoy the rest of the video. This is BebotsOnly. So here's a paint chip. So I'm gonna do a before I put some nail polish on it, so you could see the after. So that's before. Kind of zoom out so you could barely see it. It's like a little tiny chip there. Then let's put some nail polish on it. Haha, see? Check that out. Barely notice it. I mean, it's just like polishing one of my there's just some little parts over there, but basically you get the idea. It's like polishing my own toenails here. See? Don't notice it at all. Anyway, you get the idea. So I'll do the rest of the car and get that done. Yes, check that out. There used to be a big gash over here. Now you can barely notice it. I mean, you could see the shadow effect of it. I mean, I'll fill it in some more, but you get the idea. I mean, some people in the comments will always say, oh, you should sand it down or something like that, but I don't know. I mean, if this is good enough, if it's good, then I don't want to try to overdo it. But if I sand it and I get all these scratch marks on top of that. So sometimes you just want to stick with good instead of better, because the greatest enemy of good is better. So let's fill that in some more, see if I can get it to really come out. But it's already black, but let's try another coat. Here's another big huge paint chip. So I'm just gonna go over it with some nail polish just to show you the before and after. Here's the before. Let's show you where it is at. Okay, let me put nail polish over it. And that's what it looks like after. As you can see, the chip is pretty deep. It's gone inside, so that's why you could see the green kind of fiberglass inside. And I know it's not ideal, but when you're doing all this work into detailing and getting it all shiny again, it just kind of, your work kind of goes all for naught when you're just all of a sudden focusing on that little green piece of chip, and that's just distracting you. At least this way, you know, I didn't have to go into a professional painter or anything like that. I just did it, and then at least it's not noticeable. It's not gonna, I mean, if you go from a distance, now it's just hardly see it, and that's where you're gonna be looking at it anyway, from a few feet away. And I'm sure if you focus in, you could see the little cracks and everything like that, and see how it's not filled in and not smooth. But when you're only looking at it from this far, it's fine. I mean, look, I did the rest of the bumper from this distance. You're not gonna notice it. So that's what the object here is, to just get the car nice and shiny and not have any little distractions. So here, I could redo this also, so it doesn't you know, so it doesn't distract me, because I know it's there, but you know, I did something about it, you know. So it's this is one of those situations that is better than nothing, and it's completely not noticeable anymore unless you nitpick. So I'm not here to nitpick. I'm just here to just make it overall not distracting. Okay. Okay, yes, that looks terrible up close like this, but if in the shade or if you look at it from a distance, it's hard to notice it at all. That's the objective. So I got the objective done. I pretty much touched up, and also the big gashes. Maybe I can go over the second coat. The best part about nail polish is it dries instantly. I don't have to wait like a day for it to cure. I mean, is it temporary? Yes and no. I mean, yes, it's temporary. If it happens again, then pick up another one of these for less than $1. Throw some on there, and problem solved. So it's a cost versus benefit, and the benefits definitely outweigh the cost when it just spend a little time. And now I'm not distracted by these little chips. Now I can focus on getting the paint again. And as you can see, it's dirty. The paint is dull. I don't know if you can appreciate it, but it's not, it doesn't have its usual shine anymore. It's got a lot of these hard water stains. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the clay bar to take care of that. So yeah, a lot of these hard water it's just dirty right now. So let's do a walk around so you can see what it looks like before I washed it, before I like I said, I just did the paint. So let's do a walk around. I don't know if I'm gonna, maybe I'll do that also. That one, you can see, it was a big gash. Hardly notice it from a distance. It's not really there, but it's just the gash. It's not as noticeable. Before there was like a lot of, it's like, I'll try to put a second coat on, but maybe I'll do these two over here also. So let's continue the walk around. Ta-da. So I added just some little tiny miter modifications that you hardly notice. So here's my stool over there, so to protect my back. So I touched up the bumper. Mostly it's on the bumper, yeah, body kit. Body kit. I added this when I first got the car. Yeah, and that's an exhaust tip, because the original one was just kind of too small for that big hole right there. So the backup camera, which doesn't work anymore, it gave out while I was gone. So we're gonna be addressing that in the near future, but Christmas is coming around. So that's the walk around. So we're gonna be doing some modifications. But first, let's continue with the detailing. Okay, instead of the nail polish, let's try using the Scratch 2.0 from Meguiar's. So on these scratches over here, I mean, it doesn't look like it's gone into the paint that deep, versus like over here, this one gashed in there. You can feel yeah, so what you see here is the gash inside. But these ones look like, we'll try the Scratch 2.0. Okay, as you can see, it did a pretty decent job, I guess. Or, I mean, here you can barely see it on camera, but it's not as noticeable anymore. As you can see, this scratch, it just starts right here. See it right there? So if I point it out, you could see it right there. But at least it's not as noticeable anymore. And there was a scratch over here also. Where is that? It's right here, here. See this little line over here? It used to be bigger, then now you could barely see it. So it works, but not completely, but it helps. Maybe if I get the polisher machine with the compound, rubbing compound, it'll help. But these are just little minor things. And then over here, this scratch over here, starting over here, kind of winding its way down here. So I'll use the polisher. Worst case scenario, I'll use nail polish. Anyway, that's my experience. It does help, but you can see it's still kind of there, but not as noticeable. Okay, that's the update. I mean, so now, whew, I spent like 20 minutes trying to rub this thing out, and that's the result that I got. Okay, I just took off the roof rack. It literally took me like 3 days to take it off because the way the bolts were placed was awkward, and it's never been taken off for like 13 years, so it was a little stiff. So this is what the condition of the roof looks like after. So I'm gonna have to polish that, clean that, polish that, so it left like tan lines, as you could see. This is what the roof rack looks like. So it's mostly for display. Never used it. I just don't like the way it looks without it, so I put it on. But literally that ate up like 3 hours of my time just taking it off because I wanted to complete. I didn't want to just do a whole thing and not do the roof. So I had to take it off. So it's gonna take me probably only gonna take me an hour to put it back on this time, but that's the update. Okay, True Believers, just finished washing her. She's nice and clean now. Before she was dusty after a week's worth of rain. So she's still wet, so I'm gonna continue giving her some love by going to the next stage, which is the clay bar. So, but this is what she looks like, all nice and clean. Got all the rain dust off. Now clay bar is next step. So that's what I'm up to today. Okay, keep continuing. I think it's like about 11 o'clock. I started like at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So 4 hours later. Okay, True Believers, it's almost 3 o'clock. I finished claying. Look at the color of this one compared to this one. So it picked up a lot of dirt. So the reason why it took so long, I mean, there's parts where you're just kind of sliding through, cruising through, and then there's some parts where it's like it tends to kind of stick and get stuck, and you have to go over it. It's this clay bar thing, especially with a big truck like this, is time consuming. But as you can see, it's kind of shiny. Well, it's clean, so that's good news. The hard water stains is still kind of there, so I don't know if we could polish that off. But I treated the paint with clay bar, so it's ready to do the rubbing compound next. I don't know if I'll be able to do it today. I might do it tomorrow. I think I might want to take Hero to practice. He gets kind of antsy if I don't take him out for a walk. So we might, I haven't decided. I'm going to grab lunch first and decide whether I want to continue with the rubbing compound or take Hero to do some football training and get some exercise. Anyway, that's the update. As you can see, it's For the Fortuner, still it looks good. It's held. It's aged well, and we like it. We've enjoyed it a lot. It's very reliable. So I'm giving it some love back. But literally, it's taking a long time. So I'll keep updating and keep ongoing with the work in progress. And for lunch, we're having rotisserie chicken. So after it's what 2:30 now, 8, 10:30, and it's 8. No. So after 7 hours of detailing the car, I worked up an appetite. Okay, I went ahead and put the car cover on the Fortuner for now, so all that work I put onto it doesn't get wasted. If with dust or if it decides to rain again or not. So at least it's covered, and I'll continue this tomorrow. So, but right now, I'm going to do some football training with Hero next. So just to mix it up today, I would like to continue and finish this. I have the rubbing compound next, and then polish, and then carnauba wax, and then ceramic. So 4 more applications. I don't know if I'll be able to finish tomorrow, but I'll probably finish 2 or 3 of those. I'll start early tomorrow morning. Anyway, that's the update. Okay, here's Hero and I training, and as you can see, he's very rusty. It's 10 months because of the pandemic. He hasn't played football or did any training, so here we are finally getting a chance to train. So as you can see, we got a lot of cobwebs to work out, but that's fine. There's going to be no, for this next 6 months anyway to a year, there's no football training anyway for the next 6 months to a year, so at least we have time to work out the kinks. Anyway, that's what we're up to right now. Okay, go. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing every day until there's face-to-face training and football. There's this bird over here that's always here whenever we're training, always eating the bugs. I'm gonna try to get close to it, but he's got no problem just hanging out here every day we're training. We've been training for like a week now straight, and he's always here just eating the bugs. It's like a heron, I think. It looks like a heron. I'm trying to get closer. Oh, here. No. He flew away. I tried to get closer, but he just flew away. I can't magnify any more than that. Okay, everyone. Here we go. Round 2 or day 2 of our car detailing today. So yesterday, I pretty much spent the whole day washing it. First of all, it took me several hours to just take off the roof rack because it was just the bolt like time welded in there. And then I took several hours, so that took 2 hours, and then another 2 or 3 hours clay, using the clay bar, cleaning it. So altogether I was like 6-7 hours doing that, washing it, taking apart the roof rack, and then using the clay bar. And then after that, I decided I gotta go take the puppy for a walk, train him in this football. Like I said, it's been 10 months. And now, so this morning, it's about 8:30, quarter till 9. Next is we're going to use Mother's rubbing compound with our polisher. So it's going to be the first time I'm using it. And remember, this one's not too bad, about $14. Mother's rubbing compound with the polisher. That's what we're up to today, this morning. So it looks pretty shiny with the, as you can see, with the clay bar, but I want it to pop with the compound and the roof. I can't really see what the roof quality of the roof looks like. It must have been oxidized. It's not, as you can see, it's not bad. You could see where the roof rack was covered, but as you can, it's still in great condition for a 13-year-old car. But most roofs here in the Philippines, if you look at it, they're all faded and oxidized and really nasty. But this one, as you can see, still looks good. We've kept it garaged all these years, never drove it in the rain, and never drove it in the sun. No, I mean, we just took care of it. Anyway, that's the update. I'm gonna be so I'm gonna try polishing the roof first to get out these oxidized spots. As you can see, this is the areas where the roof rack, as you can see, the roof rack over there wasn't covered by the sun. Take care of that today. There you go. Built the last polisher, 4,500 pesos. That's like $90. Let's see what we got over here. I think I could have probably saved money by getting a cheaper polisher, but I wanted something that you can control the. It comes with this whatever you want to call this thing. Here it is. So I'm gonna crack this puppy with there, and this is heavy. I think it's solid. Okay, that's what we're gonna be using today. There are times when you need the proper tools for the job. This is it. Okay, here's the update on the rubbing compound and using the polisher. I really didn't have a good experience, as you could see with the roof. It's still got these oxidation marks on it, and the polisher is difficult to use. I mean, you have to. The rubbing compound dries up, and if you're not, it has a certain learning curve to it, and if you're not doing it uniformly, or if it starts shaking on you, it'll start jumping around. Then it leaves these swirl marks, and once this thing dries, it's really impossible to take off. So I decided I did it on the roof, but I wasn't happy with the results. So I mean, it's shiny, but it's got still these spots. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip it and just make it go to the polish. I mean, the roof is just, it's not that noticeable anyway. So that's the update. Going on to the next stage, the polish. Okay everyone, here we go, day 3. So yesterday I didn't get much done because I had to do a lot of errands on the boss's list. So I had to put this off to the side, and then as later on in the evening, me and Hero had training, so we're gonna try to train every day to get it whipping back into shape. So next step is McGuire's Gold Class Carnauba Plus Premium Paste Wax for the box where I had the price is gone now, but I did a video on it earlier. So that's the next step, and then the final step is putting the ceramic seal. That I should finish today and finish up this detailing vlog. Okay, here we go. Carnauba wax applied. So I'm probably just gonna wait probably an hour for it to dry and then buff it off. That is the update. Okay, true believers, I am in the last stage. I finished the carnauba wax, so now into the ceramic sealant. This stuff is great stuff for keeping the dust off because it repels water, keeping the hard water off the paint. So, but it's already 2:30, and I promised Hero where we would be football training this afternoon, especially since it's such a nice day. Finally stopped raining yesterday. Today the sun is out, so we're going to be using a lot of sunscreen, and we're going to be doing some football training for the next 2 or 3 hours. So I'm going to cover this up and continue into the final stage. Finally tomorrow will be like the 4th day, so I finally finish giving love to the good old Fortuner. Anyway, that's the update. Thanks for watching. Hey, true believers, here we are with Hero. I'm going to be having him jog around for the next 30 minutes, and then we can get to our practice so he can get back into shape. This is like 10 months of quarantine that put him out of shape. Now we're going to probably the next 3 months do this every day to get him back into shape, so whenever face-to-face training and actual face-to-face playing starts, he'll be ready. So that's what we're up to today. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day, as you could see. Finally, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful time here in the Philippines. And we got a nice field over here all to ourselves. Good day to train. And over here at night, we are doing squats at the gym. So after I detailed the car this morning, we played football training this afternoon, and then here we are weight training at night with Hero. Okay, finally after I think 4 days, finished detailing the Fortuner. And what did I think about the experience? It was a long process, but it was challenging, especially the rubbing compound. I really had a tough time with the polishing machine, and it has a lot to do with the way the mechanism it works. It's to get rid of the swirl marks. What it does is it creates its own swirl marks evenly, and I found it challenging, especially working on the roof where I was getting some really hard angles with the roof rack and everything. So I didn't enjoy that experience at all. I'd probably just leave it to the professionals. But in the future, maybe I'll skip maybe you could skip a couple of steps like the polish, maybe the clay bar, and just go ahead and go into the wax and then the ceramic sealant to protect the wax on top of that. Because at the end of the day, this is a 13-year-old car, and the paint it's not gonna be perfect, but this is a 2008, like I said, 13 years old. There's not a lot of these on the road right now, but the fact that we can still drive this and still be in this condition, then that's good enough, or better than good enough. So I enjoyed the sealant experience. As you could see, how you could see the reflection on the car, how shiny it is, and it should give it some water resistance. I don't want to say waterproof, but you could see the reflection on it. Hold on, let me focus. There you go. So it's gotten a lot shinier than when we started, but I think I took too many steps, and it was a lot of trial and error my first time detailing, and I would just skip the steps that just take too long, like the polishing and the grinding of the rubbing compound, and probably just go ahead and skip to the maybe clay bar, polish, wax, and the ceramic sealant. But if you don't have that much time, then I just go ahead and skip to the wax and the sealant, and I think you just get the same results. I don't think you putting the extra time you would see any difference. I think after a while I didn't really see that much difference at all. It just, yes, it made it look shinier, but the kind of days and days that I put and the hours and hours that I put into it, especially since like I said, I've been trying to get caught up with family over here, and I don't want to, and didn't really want to spend this much time on it. I just wanted to make it shiny again, but I think it took too much time. So in the future, I will just stick to just 2 or 3 steps, not all the 5 or 6 steps combined and take a whole week. And some of you might ask the question, BebotsOnly, why do you pick a black car? It's so hard to maintain, or because you see every scratch, every imperfection. I think when I was younger, I got black to be practical. I mean, white to be practical. My first new car was white. It was a '91 Acura Integra LS that I used for college. And for high school, I had a beat up Datsun 210 that it was basically a give me away, and because it didn't start, and the only way it started was a manual, and I pushed it down the hill, and you would pop the clutch for it to start, like that station wagon from Karate Kid. So as I got older, I decided to get mostly black because I wanted it to match the trim, because the trims are always black, and black just seemed like, I mean, black is just not seemed like, but it's just a classic color. So, but it's hard to maintain. But as you could see, when it's clean and it's shiny, it's definitely worth it. It depends on what your priority is. As I get older, my priorities change from white to something more practical, to black to something more YOLO kind of. Hey girl, walk on the wild side. Say hey girl. But I digress. So that's finished. So I got to take 2 hours to put the roof rack back on, and that completes it. Anyway, next thing on my to-do list is cut Hero's hair. The first thing I did when I got out of prison was cut Hero's hair. It's been a month now, so I got to cut his hair again. Then we're gonna go train again. He really got in bad shape when he's bored doing nothing. He just, for the last 10 months, just play video games and just eat and snack and eat a lot of junk food. I decided it's gonna take me the next 2 or 3 months every day to whip him back into shape. But I enjoyed it. I've been loving every minute. I almost don't want to sleep because I just want to enjoy every minute, every waking hour of life. I wish I could spend more time talking about how I don't want to say change my perspective, maybe modified it. And I want to do like live streams every day and talk about it, but I don't want to make any promises. And usually when I don't like breaking promises. And if I do break a promise, it's usually because I'm keeping another promise, and I get to a point where I make too many promises. Right now, all my promises to my family I'm keeping, especially with Heroes training and weightlifting in the gym. So I'm keeping all that promise. And if I do a live stream, I mean, that's a minimum, at least you're talking about 4 to 7 hours. And if I do that, I'm spent the next day. I can't, I'm like got this live stream hangover, and I can barely function. So I can't do that too often, but I will do my best. So if I make a promise that I'll live stream and I don't end up doing it, it's because I'm keeping my promise to my family. And it's not I'm breaking them, it's just I'm keeping other promises that are more important. I mean, everybody who has family and has kids understands what I'm talking about. Anyway, that should conclude this very long detailing process. I wish I would have skipped the polisher. I mean, I spent all that money on it. I don't think I'll be using it that often, maybe once every 2 to 3 years. So I don't think it's worth it. It's the point where it's better just to pay somebody that does it every day than to buy something that it's not like my hair clippers where I use it almost on a weekly basis before. But that was not I regret it or I say waste of money, but it's not cost effective is probably what I want to say. Anyway, this is BebotsOnly. Let me know what you think of what your detailing experience is like. if you have any questions, if you have any comments. So like I said, this car is 13 years old and it's in great condition. We've been taking good care of it. It looks so weird without the roof rack. And there's not a lot of it on the road. It's a classic, which is why I like to keep it clean, keep it maintained. People look at how good the condition it is in. I mean, I get every so often I get people making offers on it for it. And it's like, hey, how much do you want for it? I mean, this is the first generation Fortuner. There's not a lot of it available in this condition, especially when if they see like this is the original paint, that how good condition it is, then the rest of the car must be in good condition. So, but that's how we do, that's how we roll, that's how we take care of our things. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So please subscribe, please comment, give it a like, give it a hate. Everybody knows trolls are just part of the ecosystem. It's not like I don't mind feeding trolls. I don't want to really say I enjoy feeding trolls. It's just a chore I have to do. I don't really sit here with something. If it's something I have to do, I don't really sit there and say whether I like it or not. It's just something I have to do. Anyway, and what was I gonna say about? I mean, when people make their hate comments, I mean, everybody gets them, not just me. I don't want to say that I have the monopoly on like the most hated. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that get hate comments. I probably the one that get the most hated. I'm sure there's some people that can make some pretty good arguments why I'm the most that I am the most hated. I mean, everybody gets hate, and my philosophy on it is always, I've always said that people talking about, I don't mind when people talk bad about me. It's when people stop talking about me is what worries me more, if that makes sense. Well, anyway, I'll be more than happy to discuss it. So if you have any questions or comments and they can't answer it and I can't answer it in the questions and comments, please write it down somewhere, make a note of it, and I'll address it during the next live stream. When that is, who knows? Like I said, I can't make any promises, but if I do and I break them, it's because I'm keeping my other important promises. Anyway, this is BebotsOnly. Thanks for watching.